Good morning, good morning. This is Pablo with Meditation Amsterdam. Today is the 5th of November and I am making this video right after my morning workout, which makes me feel pretty amazing. And I just found myself rambling about a topic about the sense of self that we carry with us. And I thought I'd just put my thoughts on video and share with whoever cares to listen. And so, and this is a topic that has been maturing in my head more and more. It started really with I would say the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and my understanding of it has become more and more sophisticated, if you will, as time has gone by. To the point where I now find myself listening a lot to literature on Advaita or non-duality. And what I have found is that the topic of the self, the I am, the sense of I am, is not only very deep, is very, very profound knowledge, perhaps the most profound knowledge that you will find out there. And it is also had been considered, if you will, I would say obscure knowledge, or the secret of secrets of things of this kind. So Freemasonry or other sort of cultish type of Rosicrucianism or whatever, there were all these type of cults and sects that essentially revolved around this stuff. The same goes for Hermetics, right? So the same goes for Christianity when read through the eyes of non-dualism. Almost every single culture and occult or secret knowledge group out there is trying to say the same thing, in fact, which is that the innermost self, the sense of existence or I amness that you carry with you, is the secret of secrets, and it's hiding in plain sight, so to speak. It's very difficult to find because of our tendency to live based on mental impressions, whether of your inner world or your outside world. And so that's why each of these traditions is inviting you through different analogies and techniques to find yourself, to realize yourself. And that self-realization, as I understand it from some of these writings, is only the first step into your path to mastery, but it is a massive, massive step that only very few people manage to understand in their lifetimes. And this may have to do with your upbringing, or if you believe in things like reincarnation, or this idea that you live through several lifetimes, that your karmic past may be favorable to you, in which case some of these things just click immediately in your head, and for many people it just never really clicks. They have enormous difficulty with it, and I know that I've had difficulty with it, but as it turns out, to the credit of the yoga method, if you follow it, if you study, if you meditate, if you keep to the yamas and the niyamas, so the observances, if you will, as best as you can, something does unfold inside, right? Something shifts inside little by little, and then you start to get these realizations, these insights that cannot come to a mind that is restless, to a mind that is stressed, or to a mind that is so caught in overthinking and being busy that the notion of emptiness, the notion of doing nothing, the notion of being is seen as useless to a mind of this kind, right? And so the biggest secret, the most sacred, the most profound knowledge that we can possibly realize escapes such a mind. It cannot be understood. So and so in my thoughts about this whole topic today came this idea of why it is that it is so difficult for us to realize this, and what seem to be the progressive steps of that realization. Now, in essence, it comes down to the fact that your core being is made up of awareness, just pure knowing of its own existence, essentially. But that is too. It's in a sense it suffers from being too close to itself. It's almost like the ultimate I cannot see itself, so to speak. It can just be. And therefore, but because it's an I, it forgets itself and it starts to look for itself out there. So if you think about a society that is only just starting to become developed, so to speak, or that hits a certain level of wealth, but where culture and history are still not very advanced. That's what I see, for example, with certain Latin American societies or Eastern Europe, is that the cult of the big monkey is still there, right? Like, so who's the biggest monkey, right? And the biggest monkey used to be classified as the biggest guy, so there's still some of that, right? So who's got the biggest muscles, but also who owns the biggest car, who owns the biggest house, and so have the biggest house, and you go like, you see, I'm the biggest monkey, right? And that is, there's something there's a survival value to valuing these things, right? To making an effort to acquire these things, both in terms of a bigger body or a more healthier body or a bigger house. But the psychological value or the mental value to it is that it not only sets your mind at ease, makes you feel safer, but it also provides you with a sense of self. In other words, when you lack that center and you go out to look for it, the first place you will look is in things that give you physical safety. And you'll go, you see, this is who I am. I'm the guy with the big body and the big house, or the big car. That resolves the question. So that's what I am. Now, as we get more sophisticated, that starts to become a bit of a vulgar way to carry yourself around, right? So, driving these big cars around and stuff. Some people here in the Netherlands, for example, still do it. But at some point, that is seen as too vulgar an attempt, let's say. It's like, come on, we're better than that. Who has the big car? What a cheap and sort of silly way to show who you are. No, who we are here is, we are the people who are very professional. We work very hard. We develop ourselves, right? And we stay healthy, but not for big muscles. No, we stay healthy by doing CrossFit and jumping around in the park with kettlebells, right? Like that's way more sophisticated than just getting big muscles. And we do it with music and stuff and whatever. And by the way, we are also intellectually far more developed. So we know about culture, we know about music and art, and we go to musea and stuff like that. So so what you see is that we've replaced survival level things of being the biggest monkey with more sophisticated. Is no longer I have the biggest muscles, but I have the healthiest body. Right? We've replaced I own the biggest house with I am a very well-performing professional in my field, and we've replaced, let's say, I don't know, cheap entertainment with, oh no, I go to museums and I really look into art and all this kind of stuff. But it's still all physical and mental games at the end of the day, right? So we've replaced very crude things with more sophisticated things, but they are all still external, and that is exactly the point. That if you were to ask the average individual, even in an industrialized and a highly developed society like the Netherlands, or highly developed, let's say, advanced in Western terms, let's put it that way, what their understanding was of things, this is who they would tell you they are. And even the ones who might tell you, oh yeah, man, no, I get it. Right, I get it. I've had that conversation with my neighbors the other day, for example. He's like, oh no, I get it. You're one with everything, but that doesn't mean you get it. That means that you can say it. It means that you've maybe intellectually sort of understood it. It doesn't mean you embody it. It doesn't mean that you've made the switch to a different mode of self-perception. Your sense of self has not landed yet, right? Even if you understand these things intellectually and you're able to say like, yeah, man, it's like the old hippie thing, like, oh yeah, don't worry, man, it's all good, it's all the same, we're all one. It's like whoever's saying that, just by speaking like that, you can tell that this person is embodying a persona, right? Is wearing a mask and is totally identified with this I'm a hippie persona. So it's the identification with things that are external that eventually is the problem. But the challenge that we have is that all-seeing eye within, because its function is to perceive, it's to know and to perceive, it forgets that it is, right? Because it's always on the going out there mode and attaching its sense of self with all these things out there. It's a very sticky situation that we find ourselves in, and so the challenge is to then start observing the observation itself, right? So to retreat within on a constant basis and to regain that sense of being. That is the baseline. That is the starting point. Because from being you then observe, from being you then think, from being you then learn, from being it is the ground that holds the great professional or parent that you are. It's the ground that holds the culture that you can put into your head. Where you can be very crude about it. So you have these sort of what you call somatic narcissists, right? People who are obsessed about their body and fully identified with this meat and bones that is made up of food that we consume, nothing else. And then you have the more highbrow type of person who identifies themselves with that train of thought and emotions that is just ongoing in the head, and go like, well, I guess that's who I am, right? I guess those thoughts, those emotions, those memories that keep popping up in my head, I'll call that me, and I'll never bother with noticing that there's something in me that can observe those, that knows that they are there, that knows that it is there, yeah, because it's a mental pirouette that is very difficult to perform. So what happens when we miss that mark? What happens when we fail to identify that inner self and to identify our sense of self with that center? Well, what happens is that we go through life with a sense that the next thing will bring what we want, with a sense of dissatisfaction, and with a sense of inner anxiety and restlessness, knowing that everything that we call ourselves is a very flimsy thing that needs to be protected and upheld at all times, lest it all crumbles, because it's a thin and very fragile shell outside, and so it needs to be propped up. And many people, so I heard, right, because I don't have that much experience with talking to people in their deathbed, but they get to that point saying, you know, some of them, many very accomplished from what I hear from these stories, is to say, well, look, I ticked every box, right? I was the big professional. I was the good parent. I was kind to people around me, and you know, went out there and traveled and the rest. And yet there is a sense that something was missed. That you missed on the thingy. You missed the real goodie. That there was something that was supposed to happen, and just quite didn't. Because I'll tell you something that I concluded this morning, which is that if you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever it is, and then you feel that something is amiss, that is the next thing that is going to bring it or whatever, what makes you think that things in your deathbed are going to feel any different? It's like your understanding of these things, your understanding of your sense of self, your self-realization does not happen naturally with age. It does for some people, you know, if they suffer enough and they manage to somehow extricate themselves from that from the mind and find this the I am. But for many people, it simply doesn't. It just 1 year after the next keeps bringing its own ups and downs, but the realization never dawns. And that is a bloody tragedy as far as I'm concerned, because it is the secret of secrets. It is the thing that you are here to realize. You're here to realize that you are, as opposed to that you are doing. There was a no, I'm not going to go into that story just time wise. Let's stick to topic. I might relate it in a different video, but so that's essentially what it comes down to. And how do you then go about doing that? Well, there's the method of yoga. There is meditation, of course. Many people in the West do meditation to relax their minds, right, and to reduce stress. I would say that we have lowered the bar way too much when it comes to our understanding of what yoga is and what meditation is for. Meditation is a tool to prepare your mind so that you can do yoga, or so that yoga can arise in it. Meditation is not something to make you smarter, although that is a byproduct of it. It is not something to make you more relaxed, although it is a byproduct of it. Meditation, in the ultimate sense of the word, is the union between perceiver and perceived. That is yoga. You know, where it's telling you like, oh yeah, yoga is integrating mind and body. Yeah, kind of, right? That's part of it. But mind and body are perceived by something else. They are perceived by the eye. And so the eye first needs to be realized, and then from the eye you observe mind and body, and they begin to merge. Yeah. And then there comes a point where eye, mind, and body, those distinctions disappear, and a single unity is created. A yoke. That's what yoga is. And so now in the West, it's like, oh yeah, 5 minute so-and-so meditation. Every day, oh yeah, I feel, you know, it calms me down. I feel much more relaxed. And I think, well, we're setting the bar way too low. That's the relaxation, peace of mind, serenity. These are baseline preconditions for yoga to take place in your mind, for you to start exploring higher states of being, for lack of a better phrase. And so, you know, when you approach it that way, and it has happened to me personally, is if I see meditation as an end in itself, and it's something to calm my mind down, it's almost like a chore, right? When I see it as the gateway to a different level of being, it becomes a thing where, like, well, yeah, you know, we're onto something here. And that goes for everything else. So those are my thoughts on finding the sense of self. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of videos about this topic, because this is the thing, right? Once everything is said and done, every meditation technique, every breathwork technique, all these things, all this song and dance is being done to prepare the mind for certain realizations to arise. Once those realizations arise, the practice takes on a completely different meaning and a different level. And as we start to practice from that level, the yoga just starts to change very, very fast, right? The development starts to take place very fast, and I can attest to that. They say that yoga, there's a long period where you're practicing, and nothing seems to be happening, and then at some point it explodes. And I have to say, you know, for the past 2 years, I think to myself, oh my God, now it's really exploding. And then I look, that's 2 years ago. And then last year I was like, oh man, last year is nothing. This year I'm realizing, boom, right? And this year I'm having exactly the same again. I thought, my God, you know, I thought I got it, but now I really get it. And so it is such an exciting journey. It is such a journey of discovery. It's such a journey of self-realization, and so much fascination for reality has arisen from it. The beauty of it, the sacredness of it, the connectedness and the intelligence and the utter elegance of how everything comes together is just staggering. And I have to say that life through my eyes looks very, very different than it used to. Very fundamentally different. Very often I get what you call the beatific vision, the vision of a pristine, timeless world that Aldous Huxley would describe as the world seen through the eyes of Adam, the day in which he was born in paradise, right? It is this immediate, perfect, and beautiful world that is utterly peaceful and silent, no matter how much noise and buzzing is happening around. It's quite a thing. I wish everybody could see it. I wish everybody could experience it, because I think we need that. I think we really, really need that. So that was today's video. I hope it brings some cool ideas to the table, and I'll be back with more videos for Meditation Amsterdam. All right, cheers.